Let's get right to the breaking news in the Middle East. Israeli forces say this morning it is possible they killed Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind behind the October 7th attack. With us, Jason Beardsley, former senior advisor to the Department of Defense and a former Green Beret. If it is confirmed, we want to be very careful as we proceed here. All we're able to, at this point, report is that they are looking into the possibility that he is among those killed. Jason, how do you see it if Sinwar was killed? What does it mean for this war?
Well, I think the director's got a lot of this right in that this may provide an opportunity or an opening for further discussions and negotiations. And we should keep in mind the broader context here is not really just Hamas, but it's Iran, it's Hezbollah, it's the proxies of Iran that have been waging war against the United States and Israel for a significant amount of time. And in fact, putting our own U.S. service members in jeopardy. And I represent Concerned Veterans for America who have seen this firsthand with injured soldiers coming back from Iraq and Syria. So the real question is, can the United States in our own foreign policy strategy leverage diplomacy, economic sanctions, the things that are necessary to get Iran to contain these proxies, whether it's Hamas or whether it's Hezbollah or the Houthis in Yemen. And part of that will, again, provide an opening because Israel has decimated the leadership structure of these proxies. And now there is some opportunities for change to take place. But it has to be recognized that behind all these proxies and behind this escalating war that's been going on, you have a nation state that has a lot of belligerence and is called for the destruction of another nation state. So this is a good opportunity. But as Director Brennan points out, it's not the end. You can take out certain leaderships. They will have follow on. But right now is a time to move. And I think the White House is going to be very potentially pleased with the opportunity to maybe change the table now.
So, Jason, if Sinwar is gone and removed from the organization of Hamas, who is leading it at this point, does that mean Hamas is much weaker?
Certainly, but not just because Sinwar's potential death here, but because the entire infrastructure has been at a war footing since they opened up the attack on October 7th last year. And so they've been hiding. Their leadership has been decimated. Hezbollah's leadership has been decimated. In Iran, those who are driving these proxies are now also looking at how do we save face? How do we contain this? But the containment really is gone. At this point, Israel is inside the territories, and they're systematically operating through the leadership levels of this military political establishment. So, yes, it is very effective. And to be honest, if you're looking at emerging leadership, they have to be thinking the same thing. Until this situation changes in the grand scheme, in other words, until people sit down and talk about how an end of this conflict looks, if you're stepping into leadership in any one of these Iranian proxies, you're next on the target list. And that has been demonstrated in the last 4 weeks pretty significantly. So I would say that this is a pretty significant change if it's happened.